What's going on, guys? How are you doing today? Today I'm bringing you a guide for a supporting monk for Greater Rifts 100 plus, and now to the items. What we want is the Lit Rogue, and we want the Slenderer in here. And to say what's really important for this build is when you stack up with your weapons, you want 5 attacks with your main hand and 5 attacks with your offhand. That means depending on your group build, if the Witch Doctor has Slam Dance or whatever you have on attack speed boosters in your group, all you need is just 5, in addition 10 attacks for the build per second. That's the only important thing for this build. And yes, now to the stats. What we want here is on the Little Rogue and the Slendery, we want Vitality and we want CDR. If you don't meet the requirements for the attacks per second, you can also go on attack speed on the weapons. I didn't roll any additional socket in here, so you can also roll Vitality, CDR, attack speed and the socket in here. Slenderer nearly the same. And what you also want for this build is 2 items of the Thunder set, and you want 3 items of the Inner set. It's not necessary which place slot you equip the items. All you just need are the set bonuses and the right items. That's just mandatory for this build. You also want the Life Buveral Soliquy, just a very, very important item. Also the Cyclone Strike reduces your damage taken by 50%, is the best roll you can have here. And the necklace is up to you. If you have problems with your fire damage, go with this necklace, the Star of Atzkarant. Very good item, I like it very much. You can also go and switch in the lightning item, also very great, or you can just roll from the machines your item. You can also go on the strong arm braces, not really mandatory, but it is very good. You can also switch it out with the Nemesis braces if someone of your group doesn't have it. Also very important for the 2-player slot. Try to roll it to 30% increased damage. This might be the best roll you can have here. Yes, it is. And stats also the same like on all other items. You need Vitality first, you want CDR on your items, and perhaps some attack speed. You don't really need Dexterity. You can go on Dexterity because Dexterity also gives you a short amount of armor, so Dexterity is good too, but main stat is Vitality, next stat CDR, and then attack speed, Dexterity, and all the other stats then. So like here, the Oculus Ring, also very great in slot. You want Vitality on it, CDR, attack speed is good, and a socket. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, attack speed of course. CDR, I like crit chance, because crit chance is also a good stat on these items too. Not the best with this current build here, but yeah, maybe a good thing too. So, Illusory Boots, also you want it on your build. Just a quick over, because it's very, very simple to play this build. You just need the right equipment, and that's nearly it. I've also played on another server with just 0 Paragon, or like 30 Paragon, I guess. I only had the right equipment, and I easily did 90 plus, 95 plus graders just with the right equipment. So that's very, very simple to play. You don't need any Paragon points. It's just the right equipment. Also from the cubes, you want the Flying Dragon, you want the Spirit Guards, and you want the Ring of the Royal Grandeur. Very important here, so that your inner set gets the 4-set bonus from the Grandeur Ring, and the Fist of Thunder Yeah, just relaying. So back to the skills. What do we need here? We want the crippling wave, we want the breaking wave rune in. So enemies hit by crippling wave take 10% additional damage from all attacks for 3 seconds. It's just a buff for your wizard. You can also use the concussion rune that enemies deal 20% less damage. Also very helpful if your group has toughness problems, but breaking wave would be the best here. Then you use defensive skills. The Inner Sanctum, you mostly can use the Forbidden Palace, that enemies inside take 30% increased damage and have their movement speed reduced by 80%. You can also use the Safe Heaven rune to heal your allies, but it's not the best thing here. Forbidden Palace would be the best rune here, just because of the 30% increased damage taken. So next one, the Cyclone Strike. Implosion just gives you the increased pulse rate. So you have 34 increased yards here and not just 24 yards. You can also use a Soothing Breeze here to heal your allies. Also very great, but the Implosion rune would be much better just to have an increased range. So now to the next things and spells here. You have some different choices to make. You can use your Blinding Flash with a Crippling Wave, Crippling Light rune. The rune just reduces the damage of your enemies by 40%. Very great rune. You can also use a Breath of Heaven rune with a Zephyr if your group is very played well together and all the group members know what to do and you are just a harmony group here. You can just switch in the Zephyr rune that you have increased movement speeds and you can rush much faster through the rift. Blinding Flash with a Crippling Light is very great just to handle some toughness problems too. You can also use the Faith in the Light rune. You deal 29% increased damage, but well, Crippling Light rune would be the best if you just want to handle a good toughness situation. Next one, the Mantra of Salvation. The Agility rune gives you and your group 35% increased dodge chance. Also, you want to keep up the Mantra of Salvation rune all the time, because if you have it active, you and your nearby allies gain 20% increased resistance to all elements for 3 seconds. So, very important to keep up the Mantra of Salvation all the time, that your group doesn't drop and then the rift will be over. So, keep it up, guys. So, you can also switch in the Mantra of Retribution. You can use the Transgression rune to increase the attack speed by 10% for you and your allies. Means that your ET wizard would have 10% increased attack speed, and that would give it a huge more DPS here. Also very great, but Mantra of Salvation with Agility rune very great for more toughness for the full group. You also nearly double your. It's especially in my case, I doubled my toughness just with the Agility rune. Very great here. Next one is the Epiphany rune with a Soothing Mist. You just heal your allies, also try to keep it up. And what you want here is you want about 60% CDR. I tested it myself. The least CDR you should have is about 50 or 55% CDR. 50% is also okay if you can handle it right. Because all you want to do is just keep up your spirit, you want to push the spirit, and when pressing the Cyclone Strike, for example, in the Grift, that's why I also rolled some all resource cost on my shoulders here, you can lower the cooldown of Epiphany. That means if you have just 300% spirit, you can just use your Cyclone Strike, like Cyclone Strike, CS, and just decrease your spirit. And while you do this, the cooldown of Epiphany lowers, and then you can keep it up all the time. Very, very helpful. That's why you need the 5 attacks per second on your weapons. And yeah, that's how the build itself works, only with 50% CDR. But the more CDR you have, the less you can use your Cyclone Strike, and that's pretty much it. So let's move to the passive skills. You want the Says of the Initiative, just to get more attack speed. You want the Beacon of Jita for reduced cooldown reduction by 20%. You want the Harmony, and you want Resolve, that enemies will take 20% reduced damage. No, not to take, just they will deal 20% reduced damage here. Let's move to the gems. We want the Esoteric Alteration gem, we want the gem of the Efficious Toxin, and we also want the Gogok of Swiftness. Depending on the group, you can also switch the Toxin Ring with your Mutilation Guard. Also very helpful, but the Toxin Ring would also be better here. And don't forget, the Gogok of Swiftness can stack up. Level it so hard as you can, because you get more dodge for each level rank here. And also don't forget the Esoteric Alteration here. I only have it on 55 here, but as you can see in the video, it isn't really, it doesn't really matter here. The Esoteric on a really high rank would be better, of course, if you have it on 100 plus or somewhere above 80 or 90. But with the Agility mantra, it's really no problem to handle even low games here. I think that's it for that stats and the equipment. I'll give you guys a short look up for the gameplay itself. You should also find the full gameplay somewhere there below or on top. Yeah, let's get a quick over to the gameplay itself, and we'll see in a few seconds again. See you. So the gameplay, how you play this build. When you play with your ET-Wiz in your group, just try to spot any corners like here that your wizard can stack up. All you want to do is just use your Cyclone Strike to pull all enemies together, pull. And what you don't have in your build is the Dashing Strike. So this is how you move in your Greater Rifts. All you want to do is just use your Epiphany, and while you have your Epiphany active, you can just click on some monsters. Perhaps find a situation. Let's move through this. No, just stacking. That's a little bit too far in here. Let's move here. Also, you just want to pull together all enemies, try to keep up your Agility or Transcendence or whatever mantra you have on. You can also blind the enemies, that they will take 40% decreased damage. That they deal 40% decreased damage, and just left click your mouse. So you just spam your fist and boosh, and that's all. So you get up your 5 attacks per second with each weapon, and that's it. Also, you want to keep up your Inner Sanctum, very important for this build, because Inner Sanctum is very mandatory for your group. Inner Sanctum gives your group just defense, and also increases the damage your enemies will take. Also very mandatory that you just spam Inner Sanctum all the time, and this is how you move through. Epiphany active, and you just click on the monsters, and this is how you can dash through all the enemies. And again, pull together all enemies, the barb will catch it, the witch dog perhaps too. And all you just need to do is just pull it together and just stack in there and try not to die. That's it. Yeah, if you want to see the full guide, like I said, somewhere there on top it must be. and have fun with the video itself, and don't no, not don't. I hope you liked the video, and leave a like, subscribe, and perhaps I'll do some other videos. If you have any videos or any ideas what I should make or what I could make, just leave a comment below. And yeah, see you next time. Bye guys.